Okay, today we are going to learn how to build a pinch pot, one of the oldest ceramics forms. For this project, you will need clay or air dry clay, water, a table or mat, and this is optional, but I will be using a sponge. First, you are going to take your clay. I'm using about half a pound of clay, and you are going to start wedging together the clay. You can compress this on the table by folding the clay onto itself just to get the air bubbles out. And you can also pick up the clay and start making it into a ball. I added a little bit of water just to soften up the clay so it's easier to manipulate. But you can see here I'm forming it into a ball but compressing the sides as I turn it. Now you're going to take your ball and you're going to hold your clay in one hand, supporting bottom, and slowly press your thumb into the center. You're going to want to leave a thick bottom because as you build up the walls, you will be using some of that clay to build it up. You're going to start rotating your clay and pinching the walls of the clay. You're going to pinch, rotate, and you can see here I start to have a crack. I'm just using some water and smoothing over the wall. And I'm continuing to pinch and rotate. Here's what it looks like so far. As you pinch and rotate, you are going to want to build the wall up. You're going to feel the clay in your hand and you're going to want to push it up. And you can see here that I'm just kind of coning the clay to get its shape. And I still have this crack here, so I am going to take my sponge and dip it in the water. And I'm going to kind of smooth over this crack to hopefully get some of that mended. If you don't have your sponge, you can just use your finger as well. Since that didn't really work for me, I am going to take a small piece of clay and I'm going to put it over this crack and try to mend that seam just by creating another layer of stability. Now I'm going to keep going to get the shape that I want. I'm going to pinch and turn my piece just so I can make this pot a little bit bigger. Now I'm going to start to smooth out the lip of my pot. I'm going to take my finger and dip it in the water. I'm going to smooth over the lip, just so I can have that nice finishing touch. If you have your sponge, you can also use your sponge to do this. Just take it and smooth over the lip. Now here's what I have so far. If you want at this point, you can start to shape your pot as well. I'm just taking the walls and squeezing them together to get this kind of star shape. But if you don't want to shape it, you don't have to. You can also use a cup or a bowl and place the pot inside so that way it can hold its shape as it dries. And that's how you get your pinch pot. You are just gonna let this dry and then you can paint it.